Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time here on ON AM and FM. Tuesday morning, it's April 30th, last day of April. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. With me at the Coffee Ann table, that would be a blank screen. Here we go. There's Linda Tebow.
Doesn't say much for me. Good morning.
Well, you just blended into the background there, Linda. Linda Tebow's here. Ed Cruz here. How are you, Ed?
I'm here.
And, yes, okay.
Am I a blank screen or a
Nope.
blank
No,
mind
I
or
can
what?
see you. You're there.
You're perfect. The seagulls on the sweatshirt?
Seagulls on a sweatshirt.
All right. See, my eyes are not too bad. Nice to have Ed back. He was off last week, and so he's back today. And it's time for your first message from the Carew Investment Group, Ed.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. This is Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket with some simple advice about investing. Well, the truth is, there is no simple advice about investing. The old days of financial uptrends and downtrends lasting for days, weeks, and months are long gone. Sometimes trends last for only part of a day before changing direction. And investing is not an activity for those who can't take the time to study each twist and turn for the opportunity that it truly presents. Since 1987, I've seen them all, and I'll invest for you the same way I invest for myself. Carefully, very carefully. And it won't cost you a nickel to talk about it with me. So give me a call, or you can call my son Paul at 765-8880 right here in Woonsocket. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thank you very much. A quick PSA for you this morning. The Woonsocket Water Division will be very busy tonight. They'll be flushing the hydrants in the following areas: Elm Street from Duluth Avenue to Social Street, Wood Ave from Robinson Street to Cass Ave, Cumberland Street from Hamlet Ave to Social Street, Cass Ave from Duluth Ave to Cumberland Street, Social Street from Chester Street to John Cummings Way, East School Street from Rathbun Street to Hazel Street, and Privilege Street from Rathbun Street to Winter Street, including all the side streets in those areas. Flushing starts tonight at 9 p.m. and will continue until 5 a.m. on Wednesday, May 1st. And you may experience discolored water and lower than normal pressure. If you experience the discolored water, you run the cold water for a short time to clear the lines. And there you go. North Smithfield does this too, right?
Yes.
Are they doing a flushing
No.
right now?
No, not this minute, no.
No, I'm sure they'll do it this spring.
They usually do.
Yep.
They may have done it already.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think they may have done it already.
Very good. All right, Ed, you want to tell us where you've been, what you were doing,
No.
who you were doing it with? Okay.
It's none of your business.
None of your business.
I went to visit a friend, a little vacation time. Went to Calabash, North Carolina.
Is that on the coast?
It is on the coast. Yeah, we're very close
the
to the
Outer
coast.
Banks?
About 5. No, it's further south.
Okay.
It's actually, his house is actually 5 miles north of the North Carolina
okay.
border. About 25 miles north of Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people know Myrtle Beach.
Sure.
You sure?
Yeah. So we spent some time. And it's a friend that we met in Aruba 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Lived in Albany, New York, and he just moved to Calabash, North Carolina after last November, late November. And he's always been after us. Come on, you guys got to come down.
You
Yeah,
gotta
right.
come
So we did. It's a beautiful area. He's got a nice house. It's a lot of I don't want to say over 55 communities because anybody can buy there, but it's mostly people who are retired. Or getting close to retirement that live there, and almost all of these places are built on golf courses, and so it's very nice. It was a very nice place.
Has
Very
he
nice
developed
time.
a southern accent yet?
What are y'all talking about? Has he developed? No, not yet.
Not yet, okay.
He's from New York.
New York. I know, but you get immersed down there, and you just start getting in with the people down there, and you all start talking.
Well, he's
to
only
them,
been there about 5 or 6 months, so
okay, that's
it
too
hasn't.
soon.
Give him another year.
Give me another year. And
I told him that when I was in the Army, I was at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and
Okay.
in the PX down there, I bought this little booklet thing, how to speak
Translation?
Southern.
Yeah. It's very different.
Yeah. That was I had to learn some words because people would talk to me. I had
they're
no
talking
clue what
about?
they were saying.
Yeah.
that means food, Ed, or something like that. Well, yeah, that's right. Give it a year.
Yeah,
and he'll be saying
pick
y'all.
something up. Y'all.
And
yeah.
he'll be
yeah.
saying a lot of yes sirs and yes ma'ams, and
Yeah, the
'cause
people
they're
are
very
so
polite.
friendly.
Yeah.
Everywhere
yeah.
you go.
Everywhere you go down there.
Oh yeah, everywhere you go.
Until you find out they're from the north, and don't they?
No, no,
they're okay.
they're
with
They
okay.
don't hold
yeah.
that against you, no.
it? No,
No.
okay.
No.
No,
Damn Yankees.
no. Everybody was so, and the construction out there is
They're building
unbelievable.
like
building, yeah.
crazy.
Every one of these.
Single-family homes.
Well, yeah, they're all single-family homes. The price range for where we were was between like 350,000 on the low end, and well, you know, and you could get those, and they were nice, but there was no patio out in the back, maybe no screen porch. There was a lot of things that you would have liked to have, but you could have all of the things that you wanted for around $425.
Wow.
Yeah. The only thing is, you got to be careful that you got to make sure you're not buying in a floodplain.
Yeah.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah, that's, yeah. Uh-huh.
But it was very nice. The temperature was around 55 to 60 at night, and got up
Nice.
to around 75 during the day, and
Okay.
it was just beautiful.
All right. Well, I'm glad you had good times. Good times had by all.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Up here in our area, we had a story. I saw it on Channel 10's website. Chevy Ice Cream over on Pulaski
Bellingham,
Boulevard had an out of control truck smash through their property, and no one was hurt, and which is amazing. But the store did share a video to the TV station. Several surveillance cameras document the moment a red pickup truck smashed through a brick sign based in the parking lot, smashed through another wooden sign, then continued through the property at a high speed, finally crashed through a fence on the property of the pool, a place that's
Pool
right
place,
that's
yeah.
right next Pool Pro. That's right next door. I'm like, wow. So the man is a Bellingham resident, 38-year-old Robert Marcoux, will be criminally cited for operating under the influence, operation to endanger, marked lane violations, and speeding. He was transported to an area hospital. What appeared to be a non-life-threatening injuries, but they got him though, and he lives just up the road.
Yeah.
Ice cream shop.
What was he think? Well, I was going to say, what was he thinking? But
Well,
who
probably
thinks?
not thinking too much.
DUI, not thinking too clearly, I'm thinking.
So now Chevy's has got to. They were getting ready to open for the season, and
Yeah.
now they got to go out to their insurance company and say,
Yeah.
"Well, how much is this going to cost to?"
Well, you know,
to
though,
repair?
thank God that there
Wow.
were no people. They weren't open yet,
Yeah, imagine that. People
You
just
know,
standing in line
yeah.
waiting to get ice cream.
and many cars in the lot. You know,
Mm-hmm.
could have been worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
So I'm glad no one was hurt. Except, well, the driver got hurt a little.
Well.
But nothing life threatening. So
Yeah.
so that's good. That's and as the owner of the place, of the ice cream place, it's a miracle no one was walking in and out. This is a busy area, especially on a Sunday at 7:30 at night. So wow, it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
So okay, glad things worked out better that way. So Linda and I were discussing a little bit off air, and we'll have to get Ed's view on this. The whole thing with the students and the agitators that are there as well that aren't students
Yes.
at different colleges, and I think it's MIT is putting an end to it, and now Columbia University wants to suspend the students down there. If you're just going to be a rabble rouser, okay, but you know there are consequences to your actions,
Exactly.
and that means we take away your ability to go to class and get a degree, and we keep your money. So
Well, yeah.
you don't get any of that back.
Yeah.
So
But you know, and the thing that bothers me a lot is that for the students that are trying to go to class
yeah,
and get their education, and perhaps are ready to graduate this year, and this is definitely going to put a damper on their graduation. They were talking about, well, nobody's canceled the commencement.
yes, they have.
And they have now, huh? And that's not right.
Out in California.
It's just not
starting
fair
to
to
cancel
the
commencements.
kids that are trying to get an education, you know?
Was this going on in North Carolina? You hear about the big places, like New York and Massachusetts, obviously, but I don't know other parts of the country
I didn't hear anything about it down there.
No.
of encampments and things like that? Nothing?
No, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm
Right.
just saying I wasn't
Yeah.
exposed to
Or
it while I
wasn't
was
aware
there.
of it? Okay. The first school I heard of, Linda, Humboldt State, it's in California, has already canceled
They
commencement.
did can't. Now, so is that fair to the kids that are just trying to
No.
get, you know?
And,
And, you know, a lot of the I call them trust fund kids that are out there on the quads, you know, they don't care. You know, mom and dad are giving them a lot of money to be at those colleges. And, yeah.
and why are they so upset with the school they attend?
Yeah.
Because they invest money in
In co-
businesses that do business with Israel.
Israel, yeah,
Well,
exactly.
how does this
Yeah,
affect them
Yeah, yeah.
in any way?
Well,
Ed, go.
yeah, no.
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah,
No.
there really isn't. And,
But, and you know, and the other side of the coin too is the folks, the kids that are Jewish are
yes,
feeling threatened
don't
and are
feel
probably
safe.
getting that they don't feel safe, and they deserve to be able to have
Mm-hmm.
their education, and that some of them are working hard for.
look
You
at
know,
that. Look at that rabbi in New York who's telling the Jewish kids at Columbia, don't go to school, don't go to campus. It's not
No, but-
safe for you.
no, it isn't. But is that so? You know, once again, the ethical. Yes, you have the right to speak. We have the freedom of expression. It's not the freedom of speech; it's the freedom of expression. But yeah, but you're interfering with other
But you can't
people's
interfere,
rights.
and you can't create violence. And,
No,
and
that
like that.
and
You can't
that's
do
the
that.
thing, you know. And they're on private property.
Yeah.
There are so many reasons why they shouldn't be doing this.
And I know Brown University. I guess they're trying to be lenient.
They are, but they're
And
being a
but
little.
you know, if you
yeah,
put down,
they had the-
you draw a line in the sand, and they drew it yesterday. They said you got to be out of here by 5 o'clock yesterday, and 5 o'clock came and
Yeah.
went, and they were still there, and they said, "Oh, okay, we give it another day."
yeah.
You know, it's like being a weak parent.
And, well, exactly, and the kids, we're negotiating.
Negotiating what?
They're negotiating with the college.
To divest their money and like that.
I mean, when did they get the right?
That's right.
You know, yeah.
You're a student here. You're not on the board
and
of
these,
directors.
right?
kind of
And these
thing.
are the policies. These are
Yeah.
the policies that we have, and you need to adhere to that.
Does this drive you crazy as much as it's driving us crazy, Ed? Or
Yeah,
Well, they
When
did
you
it
see
during
all this
Vietnam.
stuff.
Remember?
yeah.
That's what
but-
it's
but
reminiscent
Vietnam
of.
was different. Vietnam directly affected us. in
And it
this-
was it was U.S. right?
Right,
It
that's
was
what I
the
mean.
United
It- you
States.
know,
These
They
people.
didn't protest Vietnam when the French were at war.
No,
with
right.
England.
No, just when the United States was there, and,
Right.
they didn't approve of it.
Now, I
you know.
heard something, like I just got back, so I didn't catch all the news, and I wasn't caring too much
Well,
about
good for
listening
you.
to
We're
the
on
news.
vacation from all of this.
Exactly.
Good for you.
But I did hear something about some of the colleges are starting to crack down on the protesters.
Columbia is starting to do that.
Okay, because now it's not just the students. They say that there's some professional
Yes.
Agitators.
protesters that are
Bring
in there to aggravate things. To,
Yeah.
to-
Causing grief. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, there was a clip that was. I think it was the Brown kids, and there was this young man that came in, and he was not a student there. And he's like there, and rabble rousing,
Yeah.
and he's so happy they're doing this, and that type of thing. It's yeah.
And it was Harvard. We had the news story. Yes, Harvard was going around, people that work at Harvard, and snapping pictures of the protesters, trying to figure out who's a student and who isn't.
Right, yeah, and they were taking down names and
Yes.
yeah.
And so, well, good for them.
Right,
for
exactly,
doing that.
exactly. It's just
So that's what I think. I think the majority of the students are probably not protesting, and it's just these.
well, no, they're trying to get an education that
That's
either their
right, that's
parents or
right.
they are working hard to get.
The
You-
kids.
you can have an opinion
Sure.
about something without going and cause, being part of
Yeah.
the physical protest
Yeah.
that's harming other people on a campus.
It is, and that's the thing when
I mean, I have opinions about a lot of things that don't coincide with other people's opinions, but we don't protest each other.
No.
We'll go out and have a beer.
Well, yeah, things have changed.
Well, I think about Brown, and you think about Harvard, and they're both medical schools as well.
Yes.
You know, people are trying to become doctors
Yeah.
and nurses.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't have time to go
Right.
protest this.
Yeah.
Finals are coming, and you gotta move on to
Right.
get a job with a hospital somewhere. So we'll just have to keep on. I hope the presidents of the colleges do the right thing. I know the kids at Emerson, and maybe it's not the students there, maybe it's the outsiders. They were calling for the ouster of the president of the college.
Yeah.
Because he said, "Okay, police, come on in and arrest him,
Right. Yeah.
and get him out of here."
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yes, we all have the right to have an opinion and to express it.
Mm-hmm.
We do, and that's why you allow us to express our opinion. But when what we're doing infringes on the rights of other people and safety. All the kids, all the young adults in those universities should be able to feel safe
I agree.
to be there.
Yeah,
And they're
regardless
not-
of what your
and,
political views or your
exactly,
religious views
and
or
so
whatever.
so those students of Jewish faith now are like they're being criminalized, like you're bad people,
Yeah.
and they don't feel safe, and that's not right.
And I did see a video over the weekend. It was from a news outlet out of New York, and they actually asked the student. It was a female, about 20 years old. She was from New York University, but she was down at Columbia because she heard that the word went out that Columbia is asking other students to come down and help out. And so then they asked her specifically, "So what are you protesting?" I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. And then she turned to her friend. Why? What are we protesting? she didn't know either.
She didn't even know.
Then why are you even here?
Yeah, that's dangerous behavior. That is so dangerous.
Yes.
So dangerous. Have a mind of your own and know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You
If someone asked me, "Hey, let's go protest," well, what are we protesting?
Yeah.
Well, we're protesting higher beer prices. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that. That sounds right.
Yeah.
But if we're protesting lower gas prices, well, why are we protesting that?
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
sounds like a good thing. So
Yeah.
you have to know why
Yeah.
you're there
Yeah.
in order to have an opinion. So
There could be probably a better use of that energy that they have.
yeah, go back and study. will you?
Yeah.
All right, time for our first break here on the Coffee and Program. So it's back over to Ed Carew for a second message from the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. And if you're looking for an investment firm that puts you first and works hard on your behalf, I'd like you to consider us. We're right here in Woonsocket, and we've been in business since 1987. So you don't have to go out of town for an experienced advisor or work with an advisor based in Boston or New York or who knows where, probably someone you're never going to meet. And we encourage our clients to come to the office and sit down with us as often as they like. Why? Because we like to do business the old-fashioned way. We want to get to know you on a more personal basis so that we're more attuned to your financial needs. So if you're interested in speaking with us for a free no-obligation consultation and find out more about how we invest money, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Very good, Ed. Thank you. And we're going to take a break. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240. More Coffee and coming up.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
We're local and live at 99.5.
It's Coffee and here on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Linda Thibault. And just in case you were wondering, the Independent Man, the statue that was taken down from the top of the State House, has been refurbished and completely spiffed up. And you can now go see it. Yeah. And it's available for public viewing just in time for Rhode Island Independence Day, which is this Saturday. So the 14-foot statue, now dressed in a new layer of gold leaf.
Gold leaf, yeah.
Will return to public view this Saturday, May 4th, from 9 until 2 p.m. at the State House. And it's part of the State House Open House. And that's put on by the Secretary of State, Greg Amore, and State House Restoration Committee. It will then be available for viewing during the State House's regular weekday hours of operation through the summer. Plans are currently underway to return the Independent Man to the top of the State House sometime this fall. If they don't drop them.
Please don't drop them.
Once a replacement marble base is completed. So what he sits on is not ready yet. So as soon as that's ready, and then they have to lift that into place.
And then him.
And then him. So. And that's impressive that they can do this.
I know. Fingers crossed.
Because I just saw something. It was equally as impressive, but this will be more impressive because of the height situation. But I had to have two trees taken down in my yard. They were dead, and when we had the tree guy come out, he said, "Well, either I take them down or it's coming down by the weather at some point." When? Well, we're not so sure, but they really should come down. So anyway, they came and they cut them down, and then they cut them into basically 20-foot logs. And then they come with another truck and another crane to pick up the logs and swing it around and drop it into their truck. I'm like, wow.
Scary, huh?
It's, when I first had them come out, because I go, this could be a little, which is why I had to pay more money. But I go, this could be a little tricky because the tree that had to come down was on my land. About 5 feet to the right was my garage. 5 feet to my left is the neighbor's fence, and about 10 feet is the neighbor's house.
Yikes! Yeah.
It says so. The trick is take the tree down. Don't damage the house, the fence, or the garage.
Yeah.
Now you're the pro. I leave it up to you, and he did.
Yeah. They know.
They knew exactly what they're doing. But to see them pick up those huge 20-foot long logs and drop them in his truck was so impressive. And then there was one that was only about 12 feet long, but much wider in circumference. And the claw that he was using couldn't grab it. It would grab it for a little bit. He would lift it about 3 feet off the ground and then slip, bang. And they tried again. He'd get about 3 feet off the ground, drop it again. I said, I really, unless you cut it up, maybe. But no, the guy that was with him went and got a chain. I mean, a real heavy chain, and wrapped it around it, and then picked it up by the chain. Smart. I didn't think of that.
A couple of years ago,
wow, impressive.
had a big tree topple over from the wind and the rain. It didn't break. It just got uprooted. And it was on the outside of our stone wall, right along the pavement, right along the street. Now, I didn't know if it was my tree or the town's tree, but it was on my land now.
Yeah,
because that's where it fell. So I called the town in Middleborough Department of Public Works or whatever, highway, whoever it was.
Now they say it's yours because it's on your land.
Well, I explained it to them just like I just did now, and I said the reason I'm calling you is that there's a great big hole about 4 or 5 feet deep and about 10 feet wide because of the tree being uprooted. I says, and it's right along the pavement, and one of two things is going to happen, and maybe both. Somebody's going to fall in, or the street is going to crumble. You know. So the guy says, I'll be down there to check in about an hour. He came down, looked at it, and said, okay. He says, I'll get a crew together. He says, you have a wood stove? I says, yeah, I have a wood stove. He says, all right. It was what's that kind of birch? Not birch. it was a really hard wood anyway.
Oak.
No, it was even harder than that. I don't remember, can't remember what it was.
All right.
Anyway, it don't matter, right? He says, I said, yeah. Anyway, about an hour later, he had a crew of 5 trucks and about half a dozen guys, and they cut up the tree. They cut that big stump.
Yep.
They took that, about 8 feet of it, because it was like so big around. They picked that thing up and put it into one of their dump trucks and hauled that away.
Wow.
They cut up all the branches and put it into that shredder,
Yeah.
that chipper,
The chipper, yeah.
chipper, and with all of the good wood, they cut it into lengths of about a foot.
Foot, mhm.
Yeah, a foot, maybe
Yeah.
a little over a foot, and they stacked them all up for me. You know,
Wow.
and
So there you go. Huh?
I had
Free
there was
wood.
over a cord of wood.
Yeah.
You know, because
Wow.
I put it in our pickup truck and brought it around front and I brought it around the back and ended up splitting it in a little while. It took a while, actually, a long while. It took me a long while to split it. There was a lot,
All
but
right.
that's my
great.
tree story.
That's a good tree story.
Yeah, yeah.
As part of this tree story, when I got home, and the big logs were there because they had gone out to lunch and were coming back. But I also noticed all the wood chips that they did were all now in my neighbor's driveway. I'm like, why did they put it there? Oh no, what are they gonna think? And as soon as I got there, here comes the woman that lives there. I'm like, oh, here comes an argument. But no, the woman that lived there went to the tree people when they were there and said, "Can I have the wood chips? Just put it in my driveway."
Yeah.
They said, "Okay." I'm like, phew. Argument avoided.
There you go.
She's building something and needed it for a base of something, so she got free wood chips. It's like, all right, as long as you're not mad, works out great.
Yeah, yeah.
Very happy about that. So the good news is RIPTA, the bus people, they were considering cutting 20 routes, but now they might not have to
Oh, that's good.
because the word went out. They're looking for more drivers because there's a driver shortage, and since they put what the starting salary is, which is a 17% increase in the starting salary, they've had over 200 applicants.
Yay. That's good.
And I've never quite understood why help wanted ads, the ones that are online, never put what the salary is in the ad. They just say we're competitive.
Yeah.
To who?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, I think they do that so that they can make it, if you have more experience and whatever they're looking for, they're
We
going
can pay
to
'em
start
more.
you at more.
Well, you
Commensurate
can-
with experience.
Right. Well,
I
okay.
think is
Put
what-
all right. Pay is between 60 and 80,000.
Yeah.
So okay. But anyway, they did it for RIPTA, and now they got over 200 applications since the pay hike was announced in February. So that's fantastic. The people actually said, "Yeah, I could do this," and how much you gonna pay? It's actually a pretty decent salary. So yeah, not bad.
That's good.
So the only thing I see is a pain of being the bus driver. People that bring bicycles on the bus, and they don't bring them on the bus.
No, they put them on that thing.
There's a cage
Yeah,
in the front,
yeah.
but you as the driver have
Oh,
to
the
put
driver
it on
does.
there.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm like, ugh, what a pain.
yeah.
You gotta stop. You gotta get out. Could be raining.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think they should be well paid, though.
The
You
bus
know?
drivers.
Drivers. Yes.
Oh,
That's quite a responsibility.
That's a
driving a
that's
bus
a
with
tough one.
That's a tough job.
Mm-hmm. You don't see it down in you don't see it in Rhode Island very often, but Ed and I see it up in Mass on the news stories. Bus drivers on the T getting assaulted
Yeah.
Yeah.
by customers, getting punched and things
Yeah.
like that. I'm like, well, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You didn't bring your money, so you punched the bus driver.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
things that just don't make sense. And I'm glad that doesn't happen down here in Rhode Island. It is few and far between up in Boston, so that's a good thing there. So, all right, we got to take another break here on the Coffee and program and take a look at the weather forecast. It'll be cloudy most of the day. The forecast is being brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a high of 58 degrees and a chance of rain or thunderstorms this morning. Tonight, cloudy skies, overnight low of 44 and another 40% chance of some showers. Wednesday's weather, mostly cloudy, 61, a northeast breeze, and a tiny chance of some showers on Wednesday. Thursday, 66 degrees, partial sunshine, and a south wind up to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly sunny, high of 59. Saturday, mostly cloudy and 59. Sunday, mostly cloudy and a high of 61. And next Monday, partial sunshine and 72.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with the cloudy skies, we have 56 degrees. And now a list of things from Progressive Insurance: home, auto, boat, motorcycle, RV, ATV. Progressive protects them all. Learn more about bundling at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
Think about the things you're thankful for, and you'll probably think of your home, family, good friends, and a great auto mechanic. Yes, a great auto mechanic can be a real comfort in your life. That's why so many people take their cars to Henry's Auto Repair on Park Avenue in Woonsocket. In fact, so many people trust Henry's that Henry's won 3 gold medals and 2 silver medals in ON Radio's Best of the Blackstone Valley contest. Why don't you join them? For inspections, oil changes, brakes and tires, comprehensive repairs, or preventative maintenance, it's the award-winning Henry's Auto Repair, 1068 Park Avenue in Woonsocket.
Hi, this is Bill from Henry's Auto Repair. I'd like to say thanks to all our supporters and customers for voting us best in the Blackstone Valley.
At the turn of this century, 27% of people who passed away were cremated. By the year 2020, that figure rose to 56%. The Cremation Association of America projects that by the year 2040, 4 out of 5 Americans will choose cremation over a casket burial. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center of Woonsocket can answer your questions about the cremation process. Go online to providencecremation.com. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center on Spring Street, Woonsocket. Let them create the perfect service for your loved one. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center.
Hi, I'm Greg Bell, the host of When Radio Was.
I'm Mortimer. Bill. Is that you under that blindfold?
Bill, with this thing on, I can't see who I am.
No, I imagine not. Can't you see anything at all under that blindfold?
On a clear day, I can see the blindfold.
You can?
Yeah.
When Radio Was, shows from the past for today's imaginations.
When Radio Was airs Monday through Friday, right here on ON 1240 Radio at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m.
All right, it is Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. Just Ed was telling us about his flight down to North Carolina or South Carolina. You flew into Myrtle Beach?
Well, yeah, the airport is in North Carolina. It's South Carolina.
It is, and then you
Myrtle Beach.
rent a car and up to. But he flew on Spirit Airlines. Your first trip on Spirit, huh?
Yes.
The low cost airline people.
Well, it ain't that low cost when you're all done nickel and diming you.
But in terms of the plane and this ride there, that went okay.
It went fine. It went fine, and they were one of the few direct, nonstop flights. You could have gotten the majors, and they all flew to Charlotte, North Carolina
first.
Yeah. And then you would have had to fly on another. To go to Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
But Charlotte is a good 3 hours away from where we were, so that didn't work.
Right.
But there was one other one out of Providence called Breeze Airlines.
Breeze, that's another low-cost one.
But they only flew down one flight on a Sunday, and they flew back one flight on a Thursday. That's it for the week.
Yeah.
For Providence to Myrtle Beach. So
just didn't work for you.
Well, I just. I said, well, what if that flight is canceled for whatever reason?
You're waiting till
now
Sunday.
I can't
wait another week.
Yeah, right. I got to wait another week because they're not flying down there next Thursday. They're just flying back. I don't know what they do with the plane in the meantime.
Well, like I've heard from Spirit in the past is okay. They come around with snacks and drinks, but everything.
You pay for everything.
Everything. I mean, water and soft drinks. Usually, the other flights, you pay for alcohol, but water is. That's money, and soda's water. Soda's water. So soda's money, and chips and peanuts. They don't serve peanuts anymore. Cookies, everything is a price, huh?
Yeah.
But at least they tell you that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least you know.
But you didn't have to order a big meal. A 2-hour flight.
Oh, right. That's right.
I mean, it's a short flight. What do you need?
Yeah, I don't need a fillet, so kind of thing. All right, but speaking of airlines, things are looking well at the Worcester Regional Airport. Travel is up. About 204,000 passengers used the airport last year. That's a 5% higher than the previous year. And they assessed that to JetBlue have new routes to Orlando and Fort Myers, Florida. So people flying out of Central Mass don't have to drive all the way into Boston or go to Providence. They have this other option out there in Worcester, so that's what the uptick is. So that's a good thing. And I don't think I think JetBlue's the only airline at the Worcester airport,
really?
unless Southwest has got something there as well. But I thought they were the only ones. So that's good. Gas prices are up, Ed.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Summertime.
Summertime is right. Yeah, it's the switch. It is a switchover, right, from winter gas to summer gas.
Yeah. That's part of it.
Okay. Anything else? What's going on in the world?
What's going on in the world
Well,
has
that
something to
too.
do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got a lot to do with it. So the average price in Mass, $3.59. Although it's less than what's national. Nationally, it's
National
$3.65.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-cent increase over last week. So okay, but it goes up every time in the summer, doesn't it?
It usually goes up until around the 4th of July, then it starts to back off again.
Okay.
But there's so much other stuff
Well,
going
well,
on
well, yeah.
internationally that
Yeah,
you
it
just
is.
never know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a built-in price escalation there just for the in case something happens. And then you've got hurricane season coming up too.
That too.
It's
yeah.
always something that can drive the price up.
All right. Well, the trial started yesterday in Dedham,
Right.
the Karen Reed
Oh,
trial.
yeah.
Yeah.
And talk about dramatic. Her attorney, the defense attorney, David Yannetti, pulled no punches in response of his opening remarks by yelling,
Yeah.
Karen Reed was framed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like TV.
Yeah.
It's like the movies.
Yeah.
The first witnesses on the stand were the victim's brother, Paul O'Keefe, and his wife, Erin, who spoke about the weeks and days before John O'Keefe died in 2022. Both said they liked Karen Reed very much. So, okay, one for the defense on that one, I guess. So the prosecutors, they said in their opening remarks, the evidence will show that Reed was angry with John in the weeks leading up to his death. And I've heard that too, that they were that they've been arguing, and that I think I think she wanted to break up with him, but I'm not positive on that. So that may all come out. And now they're saying the story yesterday was that this trial was going to last 6 weeks, and now they're saying 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
There's just a lot of there must be a lot of witnesses that are going to be coming and testifying. So this is going to be a long one. I like that. Karen Reed was framed.
Was framed. Yeah. They've been saying that. How do you?
I don't know because
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah. No. They're not telling us. Yeah.
Nope. Just saying nope. She didn't hit him with a car, and she just left him there and took off. And somehow whoever did kill him said, "Let's blame it on her. Make it look like she ran him over."
Yeah.
And that's how they say she's being framed. So, will it come to that? Don't know. That's a tough one right there. All right, let's see what else is going on. Celtics won last night.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they did. They are up 3-1.
Yeah. And
against
the
Miami.
Bruins.
And the
are
Bruins are
doing
up 3-1.
Yeah.
So Bruins tight. So things are well
Yeah.
on the playoff front for the
Yeah.
Celtics and the Bruins. Red Sox,
Eh.
okay. They did
Yeah.
all right over the weekend.
Yeah.
So that was nice. So if they can stay out of the being hurt, that would be nice.
Well, yeah. They got a lot of guys that are hurt.
Yeah, and it's and they keep calling people up from Worcester to
Yeah.
come help out. And geez, there's just so many. And Costas went on the 60-day deal. I mean, it's not a short trip to the injured list; it's a
Yeah.
long one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, geez.
But
too bad,
Tyler
too bad.
O'Neill's back.
He
Yeah,
is back.
he's
He's already
back,
hit
yeah.
a nice home run.
Yeah. He's pretty darn good. Yeah.
He is good.
He is good, yeah,
it was fun to
yeah.
listen to him because they were on ESPN on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah, I listened to that. Yeah.
And so they put the mics on the players
Yeah.
and talked to them during the game.
Yeah.
I said, that's so cool that they can do this. And just asked him, "Did you play any football?" "Oh no, Canada played hockey."
Yeah.
And nothing was hit to him. That's even more fun if they actually do a play while they're talking to the guys
Yeah.
up in the booth. But Tanner Houck was pitching so well, struck everybody out.
Yes. Yes. He
So
did very
then-
well,
so
yeah.
that's-
Was that
that's
the
going well.
17 to
No,
one?
that was Saturday.
That
The
was
17-0
Saturday. I
shellacking.
say save some. Save yourself.
How are things looking over at the Senior Center?
Good. We
Yeah.
had our gala Saturday night, our Great Gatsby Gala.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. We had about 100 people, 90 to 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
The food was excellent. The band was good. It was just, you just walk, and everybody was in proper attire.
From the Great Gatsby
Yes.
era?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Everybody pretty much was all dressed up, and it was so elegant. It was so elegant. It was, walked around, and everybody was smiling. And this was the first time that, I didn't hear a complaint.
Really?
I did not.
Where was this held?
It was held at Winter Court in one of the mansions up there. The host was gracious enough to allow us to use his house, and we had a red carpet. I was greeter at the door. Yeah, it was really a lovely, lovely night. Very good night.
Good.
So
Was it a fundraiser?
it was a fundraiser.
So,
it was a fundraiser.
Raise some decent money?
I don't know. We
No?
will find
Okay.
out.
There's so much they're still counting.
That's
it.
still counting.
Yeah, well,
tonight.
I don't know about that, but we'll, check. I didn't go into the office yesterday, so I have to check with the finance director to see if we did. But
All right.
we had, there were lots and lots of people. Tebow had on a tuxedo. Yeah.
All right.
It was nice.
I know Linda's going to get going at 8:45, so
I do.
I wanted to bring this up because you're the sole female on the panel today.
Okay.
So you have to speak for all women.
Oh, wow. What a responsibility.
Ed, you can chime in if you like it as well. So this is down in New Bedford.
Uh-huh.
There's an all-male club
I know.
down there.
I know where you're going with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
The club Mataresini SS Sacramento, they voted on its bylaws over the weekend,
Yeah.
overwhelmingly 116 to 21, to allow women into this club, which is fine.
Yeah.
And this club puts on the New Bedford's Feast of the Blessed Sacrament every year. But as I read through the story, the vote comes after some women threatened to file a lawsuit to let them in.
I know.
And so, Linda, as the only female,
Yeah.
you always read stories like this where women threaten lawsuits to join an all-male establishment. This club was established, by the way, in 1915. It's been all-male since
It's
then.
been all men, sure. But
So,
that was the culture then. Yeah.
But you just never see men threatening lawsuits to join an all-women's club.
I know.
Why? Now, speaking for all women,
Yeah.
why is this?
Well,
why do women feel the
first
need?
of all, I heard this story,
Yeah.
and the story is, they have the largest Portuguese feast in
Okay.
in the country,
Okay.
and so it dates back to what 1915, I think.
1915.
And the culture was then, yes, that it was always the men that had this, and
They
and
organized it.
and they organize it. It's their thing, and the women help out. They
right.
cook and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And it blew my mind that they would, bring up a lawsuit to join that, because why?
Well,
Why would you want to do that? The same thing they do, the Elks. We have women in the Elks now. We have women why? Why? We have women in Scout. It's not Boy Scouts anymore. It's Scouts. You know.
basically. Well,
And as a vintage woman,
yeah.
I see no need for it. I see no need for it. If it's been the men, let the men do their thing. It just why they showed them. They're all jumping around.
Yeah, they're
saying,
jumping around and
"Yeah,
hugging
yeah,
each
yeah."
other.
I'm
These are the
like,
women.
What's wrong with you, Jer-"
Well,
and they're younger women.
The women.
They're younger women.
There's a woman quoted in the story. I've always been prevented from serving in a full capacity.
Yeah.
Where I had the right to take votes,
Right.
to make suggestions.
Right.
But here's the biggie.
Yeah.
But I want to plan the feast.
Yes. Yeah. They want to be. Yeah. They want to plan.
They want to
yeah.
take over.
They want it, and you're just giving yourself more work. Are you crazy? And as somebody that I've been in politics, I've done that. I was the town administrator, I was the president of the council, but not because I am women. Watch me roar.
Yeah.
It's just because we make a big production, and when you said men joining women's thing, I remember when the Elks, what are they, 850 in the
Yeah.
Elks? Yeah, 850. Dave's a member. And I remember when they started taking in women, and some of the guys said they wanted to join the Emblem Club. They did.
And did they let them?
No.
Well, that's discrimination.
But now, and even like with the VFW, it used to be the ladies auxiliary. Now it's just an auxiliary.
All right.
Because men wanted to be part of that. Men that were not allowed, they were veterans, but they were not veterans of foreign war.
Okay.
So they couldn't belong to the VFW, but they wanted to belong to the auxiliary. So now it's just the auxiliary, you know? But I think sometimes we make a big production about
Yes.
why. You know, as a vintage woman, I say, why?
I was talking to Dave a little bit before this about this. I said, watch, in 5 to 10 years, there'll be no men in that organization, and it'll be all women.
Well, I will tell you something. I know of people that belong to the Elks that no longer belong to the Elks.
Because they let women in?
Yeah.
Well,
And it's not, I don't think it's because they don't like women. You know, I think there's nothing wrong with having a bunch of guys be together and do their thing. Plus, they look better in the tuxedos than the men, than the women do. You know, I don't mean to make light of it, but I just don't see any reason why.
Ed, do you have thoughts on this?
No, I think Groucho Marx said it. I would not want to be a member of any organization who would accept me
as a member. Yeah. All right, we got to let Linda go because she's got somewhere to be. So thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
And we hope Linda will be here next week as well. More Coffee Ends coming up. Stick around.
Kitchen trends for 2024 want to make your cooking space feel more special. From textured tiles to rounded stone islands to porcelain countertops, Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center can show you these and more. Visit CumberlandKitchen.com or stop in and see Kevin and his team at their showroom in the McDonald's Plaza on Mendon Road, Cumberland, right off Route 295. Turning a house into a home, your home, Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center.
Hello, my name is Paul LaValle, and I'm from the Woonsocket Council Knights of Columbus. We are sponsoring a scholarship fund raffle tickets that'll benefit the Woonsocket Catholic School Regional School System. There are only 100 tickets being sold. They are $50 each. The first prize is $1,200. The second prize is $500. The third prize is $300. You can contact any Knight of Columbus or myself at 401-651-5533 to purchase tickets. Thank you.
It's Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan. Ed Carew is here. Linda had to take off right now, so Ed and I will finish up the program by ourselves. So the $1 billion winner in the Powerball has come forward. 3 people are going to split it.
Wow.
They're claiming the $1.3 billion Powerball jackpot ticket. It was sold in Oregon. Cheng Saifan and his wife, Duan Pen, are splitting half of the jackpot, and a friend of theirs, Leza Chow, got the other half. Pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
They all took a lump sum, so after taxes, they divide $422 million. Cheng, who goes by Charlie, has been battling cancer for 6 years and has been on disability. He immigrated to the U.S. in 1994 and worked as a machinist making aircraft parts before coming down with cancer. The first thing he and his wife plan to do is pay for his medical care, and then they want to buy a house. The other person did not say, or we don't have it listed, what they want to do with the money. So, well, that's sensible.
Yeah, I heard the guy this morning on the news.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that's what he said, that he had cancer and that he was going to use the money to get the best medical care that he could get.
Oh, okay. Did he say, are they in debt now
He didn't say
on the
that.
medical care that he just owes?
Didn't say that.
Okay. But, and there'll be enough left over to buy a house. So that'll be nice.
I'm sure.
All right, great. And so good for them. So keeping it out on the West Coast, in King County, Washington, a zebra is missing.
No.
Yep, it's still missing after police and the public helped catch the runaway animals in Washington State. Washington police in King County say 4 zebras got loose when their owner stopped to secure their trailer on the drive to Montana. The locals out there said they thought the animals were part of a prank. Another said Sunday would be known as the day the zebras came into North Bend, Washington. So it looks like they grabbed all three, or grabbed three, but one is still missing. Now, you should be able to spot a zebra.
Yeah, really.
Pretty easily.
They look a lot like a referee.
That's right. But if it's out there in Washington amongst all that greenery out there, and you see a lot of black and white stripes, you're going to know, hey, that there he is. Do you know that when zebras in the wild, Ed, when they feel threatened by like a lion or something, they huddle together?
Uh-huh.
Do you know why?
No, why?
It makes them look like a bigger animal.
Oh.
Because the lion can't differentiate between the lines, between the stripes.
Oh.
So it makes it look like, well, that's a really large,
smart zebra.
whatever it is. I said, I better not tackle it because it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
So they all group together like that. Little zebra information for you.
A little zebra trivia
for
you.
I think I picked this up on Jeopardy one time. I also heard you cannot ride a zebra like a horse.
Yeah, no, they're different.
They're similar shapes.
Yeah, right.
But because they're wild, you and people have tried. They think, well, we've got wild horses, and eventually you ride it and you ride it and you ride it, you break the horse.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen with zebras. They cannot be broken. At least that's what they've tried it, and it can't be done. I guess it'll just keep throwing you and never stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, so that's why you never see someone riding a zebra. And if you do in the movies, it's a horse that's been painted to make it look like a zebra. So yeah, you cannot. It's impossible to ride a horse. So you were down in
You mean a zebra?
A zebra. I'm sorry. You're right. Horses are fine.
Yeah, right.
All right. So I found this amusing when some people in Newberry, South Carolina, were very concerned about some noises they were hearing, and they called the police and said, we're complaining about this. It's a siren-like noise or roar, and we don't know what it is. We don't know where it's coming from, and we want you to investigate.
Yeah.
And so they did. The Newberry County Sheriff's Office posted on Facebook, not to worry, it's just the cicadas are coming out of the ground.
Oh.
And they're noisy critters.
They certainly are.
And
you
so
can't ride those either.
You can't ride those. Well, they're way too small. Now, the police do go on to say there's no need to fear these guys. They're not a threat to us or to your pet.
Mm-hmm.
They're just here to eat plants, I guess. whatever cicadas eat. But yeah, they're noisy guys.
Yep.
And is it every? I asked Dave, is it every 7 years?
I think
that
so.
they come out of the ground?
I think so. Yeah, it's not an
they
annual
have for such
thing.
a long. No, it takes a few years. But once they arrive, they're just loud. So please stop calling the police on your noisy bugs. There's nothing that they can do about it. So someone in Nebraska here thought they were probably going to make a lot of money, Ed, but he's under arrest instead.
What did he do?
A man is under arrest in Nebraska after a search of his car found more than $7 million of methamphetamines.
Whoa.
$7 million of the drugs. A deputy with the Seward County Interdiction Task Force says they pulled a vehicle over near Milford, Nebraska on I-80. The deputy says a K-9 gave him probable cause for a search. The sheriff's office says the deputy found a trash bag and 3 totes with a total of 200 pounds of methamphetamine inside.
Wow.
The approximate street value is over $7.2 million. A man from Stockton, California, was also taken into custody and turned over to federal authorities. So it sounds like the man in Nebraska said, well, I'm just delivering. I'm just driving the car.
I'm just the mule.
I'm just the mule. I'm not the perpetrator. I'm not selling. I'm just driving. Well, who are you driving to? Well, I'm going to Stockton, California to see Joe Smith here. You might want to talk to him. All right. And they get on the phone. Hello, Stockton. Go pick up this guy. But wow, That's a lot of drugs. $7.2 million. Wow. And it makes you wonder, because it doesn't say here why the car was pulled over. Because it's usually for something silly, like a broken taillight.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or, possible speeding, or you're weaving in and out of traffic. But it's usually not something major until, and then you do get pulled over. He's got to know what he has, so he's acting nervous, and the cops are like, "Why are you so nervous?" No reason.
I'm not talking.
Now I'm not talking. Well, we're going to bring our dog over here and see what he or she thinks about the car. And you ever see how the dogs work? Drug sniffing dogs?
Just on TV, so
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know
they-
if it's true or not.
Well, they walk around, and if they think there's something in there, they sit down.
Oh, is that how it
Yes,
works?
and that's the signal.
Oh.
Yes, I've detected something, and it's in this general area.
Uh-huh.
And it works. They can then go to call back and get a search warrant because the dog has noticed something, and it works like that. Get the search warrant for the car, and out they come, and now they can tear through the car and go looking for what they're looking for. But this stuff was probably not hidden if it's in some tote bags and a trash bag. Hey, what's that trash bag in the back seat of the car? It's my laundry. It's kind of heavy for laundry. Yeah, well, it's been a while. So, on another subject, a couple in Kentucky charged with burglarizing the home of a woman who had just been killed in a car crash. How awful is that?
Wow.
Yep. The Wayne County's Sheriff's Office says it had responded to a fatal one-vehicle crash on a highway. The car had flipped over, and the driver had to be extricated from the car. She was pronounced dead at the scene. 4 hours later, the Sheriff's Office says it arrested a couple for burglarizing the home of the crash victim. The couple, Lena and Timmy Truxwell, had been at the scene of the fatal accident, and they're charged with second-degree burglary. So it makes you think they're standing around listening to what the police are saying, and whatever reason they give out an address, and they hear that the person has passed away. Crime of opportunity, Ed.
I guess.
Hey, we're not that far from there.
Mm-hmm. Let me put in my GPS.
The police are all busy here. They won't worry about what's going on over there if we can get in and get out as fast as we can. Not nice people, though.
No, I would say so.
That's a terrible thing to do. So yeah. Let's see. Wow. Doesn't say what they tried to get away with. Doesn't say what they took from the house, but it's a chance, because how do you know the person doesn't live with somebody?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a woman that died. Yeah, she was pronounced dead at the scene. Maybe she's married. Maybe the husband's at home. Or maybe they figured, well, they're going to call the husband. He's going to come out, so the house will be empty.
True.
So there's all sorts of things like that go through my head.
The criminal mind at work.
That's right. And I've been doing what you're supposed to do, and you're not supposed to post online. Hey, I'm going to California in 3 days and like that, and I'll be gone for a week. And it's going to be great. I haven't been doing that.
Good boy. Good boy.
You're supposed to when you come back. Hey, I was just there, and boy, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And so that way you're not supposed to tell people. Although now I'm telling people that your house is going to be vacant for a little while. So, all right. So, let's see. Spray painting drones are being tested to remove graffiti out in the state of Washington. So we put the spray cans on the drone, fly the drone over the graffiti, hit another button, so now it covers over the graffiti.
Oh, wow.
All right, the State Department of Transportation is running a pilot program in Tacoma and Olympia with drones that can paint over graffiti in hard-to-reach places like overpasses, bridges, and walls. That's always amazed me how they get the graffiti on the overpass.
Yeah, really.
That means you had to hang down and actually paint something. The drones have a tube that connects to a paint supply that's on the ground. The workers are being trained as drone operators. The tests are being done in construction zones where lanes are already closed because drones can't be flown over moving traffic. I didn't know that. Not know that. Okay, if the tests are successful, the program could be expanded next year to other areas. So, not a bad idea, and it keeps the workers safe. They don't have to either get up on a cherry picker or something like that and try to take care of the graffiti. Just that's one of those things where you can say, let AI do it.
Right.
And I'll just control it from the ground. So that works out perfectly. All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in, as always. And we thank Linda Tebow for joining us. Ed Crew, thanks for coming in today.
Good to be back.
All right, nice to have you back. And stay tuned. I'm Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember who's coming away at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
There was a 3-cent per gallon increase this past week for a gallon of gas at the pump in Massachusetts. That compares to